When I was younger, people used to say, I need a stable job. Even nowadays, I hear this very frequently coming from parents and friends and many other people. That's the whole point of school. Go to school, learn whatever you learn from there, get a degree after you graduate from university, and then have a stable income. Unlike back then when I was hearing it, actually just like back then, I knew that this was complete crap. I knew that this was slavery, hidden with the word 9 to 5. I knew that this was definitely not for me. And people should question, is this the life that you want? Is a monthly, daily salary worth this time and money? I think everybody should find a way to escape this endless cycle of going to work at 9 o'clock, doing whatever you do over there, and then coming back at 5. It is not how a person's supposed to live. It is not normal, and it is definitely not freedom. Retiring at 50 plus years old is not a life. By the time you reach that age, you've lost all your life. What is left to do? What is there? You travel, what? To do what? You don't have energy to do that anymore. In this video, I'll be discussing why I will never do a 9 to 5 again, and why you shouldn't either. I hinted at the importance of time, and I believe time is more valuable than money. This is probably the strongest point to make. If you could double your salary but lose every evening and weekend, would you? I don't think many people would. I think even the minimal time that you have after a hard day of work or on the weekend is too little. Most people, when they come back from 6 o'clock, which is roughly when you get back because 1 hour drive is definitely into account, you'll be exhausted. You won't want to do anything else. You might have a few hours to yourself, which in those hours you're probably eating, taking a shower, maybe looking up, wasting some time doing something else, and most of it is just wasted for nothing. And most people are even tired to do anything else. So during the week, you're not doing anything. And weekends, I mean, come on. Most people don't even know how to use their time. Another big point I want to make is that 9 to 5 is about working for someone instead of working for a greater goal that you might have. Maybe you have personal ambitions, but they cannot take priority over your work, can they? Because you need an income. And so you waste your time working for somebody else that doesn't give two stiffs about you. And in the end, what was it all worth for? For some cash, which what are you going to do with them? What are you going to do with it anyway? Building your own business means creating something that belongs to you. Even if it's harder, ownership has long-term value. And I believe a lot of people don't see the value until it reaches a point where it's too late in their lives and they look back and go, why did I waste all this time for nothing? And more importantly, for somebody else. Another personal point that I want to make is I personally like creating things. I hate sitting around doing stuff for somebody else. I like creating my own things. I like making videos. I like streaming. I like building communities. I like designing. I like programming. I've done all these things actually in my own spare time, doing it for nobody. Creating is meaningful and it's not in a routine, which is something very important to me because I don't get bored. I don't see people creating. Instead, I see people following. I see people doing something that's already been done. Where is creativity? Find it. Try to find inspiration. Try to see if there's something else that you could do. People also like prioritizing comfort over freedom. I personally prefer freedom over comfort. I prefer not working and not having money right now currently, but at least I'm free for the time being. I am working on making a salary, but it's not going to be via 9 to 5 because I know for a fact that it will steal my freedom because money costs freedom. Comfort isn't fulfilling. You would prefer to choose your own hours, working from anywhere, taking risks, and being responsible for your own success. Freedom does come with uncertainty, but the trade-off is the fact that you're free. That's why I believe that 9 to 5 is slavery in a way. Another thing I want to point out is, speaking of businesses and working on your own terms, that in a 9 to 5 job, you don't really scale. Your salary doesn't really increase much. And if it does increase, it's not really sustainable. I believe if you work on your own, building a business or working contracts and trying to find more time, it is more risky. But at the same time, the reward is greater, much greater than the restrictions that 9 to 5 bring you. There is something even more important than freedom that I want to talk about. What could be more important than freedom? And that is actually family. Jobs actually take up a lot of time away from family, especially if you have kids. You don't see them throughout the entire day, and in the afternoon you're too tired to do anything with them. You don't have as much energy. Your mental health isn't as good. Relationships are not as stable. You sacrifice time with your family. You don't have as many hobbies. You don't have good health. And this 9 to 5 job sacrifices this invaluable resource. And trust me, you do want to spend as much time as you can with your loved ones. Now, I will say the opposite. Why 9 to 5 is much more secure. Why people wouldn't take risks and try to find an alternative. Now, I'm saying it from personal experience. I've actually been to a 9 to 5 job. I worked for 6 months for a big corporate business, in fact, that had to do with telecommunications. From my experience, I have to say that the work environment in a 9 to 5 job is absolutely horrendous. There is a lot of gossiping. There is a lot of people hating each other. There's a lot of people that want to step over another person to get to a better position. There's a lot of ass licking. I just want to say it flat how it is. And this isn't even scratching the surface as to what type of problems are in this 9 to 5 environment. Now, other people might consider jobs that are more isolated and have less people, not just big corporate businesses. And I want to say that those jobs are even worse because there's even more boredom than what you can possibly imagine. Now, I haven't personally worked at one of those, but I do know people that do work in those, and it is a lot more draining. And even though the big corporate business is very draining, at least I had stuff to do at certain points. There were days that I didn't, but there was always stuff to do. But it was never fulfilling, and I hated it every single day, especially getting up early and coming back really late. And I still made time to do things, but it was really difficult. Like, I still went to the gym and I still streamed and recorded videos, but it was just too much. It was way too much. It was very draining. However, the alternative is trying to get contract work, or trying to make your own business, or trying to do something alternative like what I'm doing here with YouTube. I'm trying to make a YouTube channel succeed. Make sure to subscribe to help me do that, please and thank you. This is risky, what I'm doing. Risky in terms of, well, I don't really have much to lose currently, but eventually in the future, I will not have the salary to keep this sustainable. Eventually, if I do not have money made from this, I will not be able to keep doing it. I need to find alternatives, and I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to avoid working at a 9 to 5 at all costs. And this is what the benefit of the 9 to 5 is security, basically. You don't have to worry about doing something else and not taking risks. But I personally would advise against it. I think you should take risks, especially if you're in early to mid-20s. Try to find something to not fall into this dreadful cycle, which is a 9 to 5. Try to find a way to escape this slavery, this system that exists around most people. And you might say, well, it's not easy. And of course, I mean, it's never going to be easy, because you're working out something that most people will never figure out. But it is going to be 100% worth it. Even if you fail, give it a shot. Try to find a way out. Do it, and you will not regret it. Because in the worst case scenario, you pick up lessons and you learn from mistakes. And these mistakes can result in you finding success in the future. That is all for today. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one, chads. Have a good one.